Hello there, my very good friends. On today's Good Afternoon News, that's what we say every time we do these. Tessa Blanchard's TNA return is off to a rough start.
Yes, the plans for Tessa Blanchard and Jordynne Grace have been revealed.
Has Big Boom AJ's next AEW opponent been revealed?
And what on earth is going on with Toni Storm? I'm Adam Wilborn.
I think she's got amnesia.
Yeah. And this is the After News.
Pay it off straight away. Right, let's talk about Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah.
Oh boy, if you missed this, she's back in TNA Wrestling. It was reported on Friday by Dave in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that the reason she'd not appeared for CMLL lately, which has been her home promotion as of late, was because she was going back to TNA. That then came true on Saturday's pay-per-view. She showed up, pulled off the mask, pulled off the hoodie. Oh my god, it's Tessa Blanchard. So, in the kayfabe realm, right? In the kayfabe realm, Tessa Blanchard's a former TNA World Champion. Broke ground in that realm. I believe her and Taya Valkyrie actually headlined the pay-per-view of the first ever two women fighting for the TNA belt.
Play.
So there's all that stuff. There's some bad stuff as well. Let's talk about that. And that's kind of why this thing has already gone off to a pretty rocky start. So Shauna Sapp had a little report on Twitter about this, noting that a bunch of talent in TNA got word that Tessa was coming back last week, and he's been told that Jordynne Grace, who we'll talk about in a minute, has actually pushed back on the idea of working with Tessa. Why would somebody push back on the idea of working with Tessa Blanchard, if you ask? Well, open your books, sit down, grab yourself a cup of coffee. It's a whole damn story. 2020, January 2020, she wins the world title, the TNA world title against Sami Callihan. Hard to kill, I believe. Couple of days before that, she tweets, "Women," it's along the lines of, "Women, when we support each other, amazing things happen."
Why can't we all just get along?
Yeah. That was a mistake, because a bunch of women's wrestlers quote tweeted and replied to that saying, "You don't live up to this."
No.
And the examples cited were alleged racist abuse towards a black wrestler, La Rosa Negra, the Black Rose, on a tour of Japan. She spat in her face, allegedly, as well, which is appalling, obviously. Bunch of wrestlers, and it doesn't even scratch the surface, but Allysin Kay, I believe she was one of the more prominent voices, Chelsea Green as well. TNA went ahead with the world title change anyway. Tessa released a statement denying this, saying like racism is not in my heart, along those lines. She continues, she has the world title run, gets to June, COVID happens, she's still world champion. She's isolating in Mexico. TNA are worried that she's going to no-show in a title match. She hadn't submitted some promo material as well, reportedly. They strip her of the belt and they let her go from her contract, which was due to expire anyway that month. So it ends in controversy. It's a whole web of this stuff. Now she's back, and understandably, people are not best pleased.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the most I've seen people talk about TNA on the timeline in a while, unfortunately, and it was mostly anger. Now, we should mention that a year or so ago, Tessa and La Rosa Negra did, you know, the Instagram feature where you can co-post?
Yes.
They did something like that where the caption was like, "Forgiveness, time heals," like that kind of thing, which insinuates that those two have kind of buried the hatchet a little bit. At the same time, Tessa has always kind of denied these allegations, so it's like, well, if you deny them, but then you're doing a public thing where it's like, oh, we've made that, it's like, what version is it?
What is there to make up for?
Yeah, what is it? Like, you apologise, you say these things didn't happen, but then, I don't know. It's a confusing ass thing. The reality of these situations is that the behaviours that Tessa allegedly partook in are awful. And a wrestling company, they don't really care, is the cold hard truth, right? A wrestling company will look at the backlash and they will look at what they believe the potential benefit is, and if the benefit is up here and the backlash is below that, they will bring a person in. Hulk Hogan's return a few years ago.
Or hoping the conversation has moved on to something else.
Exactly. If they think they can get away with it and they think they can make money and generate buzz, they will do it. I don't know if the buzz that TNA generated this weekend is the buzz they wanted.
No, and like you say, the upset it may have caused the locker room. You mentioned there Jordynne Grace, allegedly not happy at having to work with Tessa Blanchard. And I think, just because you necessarily mended fences or built bridges with someone like La Rosa Negra doesn't mean that everyone should be like, well, I guess everything's fine then. You're forgiven. Like, it's a really difficult situation, which TNA didn't need to bring on themselves. Although in their defence, I will say, they are about to lose, as I'm about to get into, their best female wrestler, and it's probably like you said, that balance of right, this is not going to be a great PR look, but it's going to be a huge hole left when Jordynne Grace leaves. Tessa Blanchard might be the only one that can fix that, but I do think it speaks volumes that in the 3-4 years you've mentioned there since all this kicked off, and she was like you say, a woman winning TNA's World Championship, beating Sami Callihan. The two big companies, WWE and AEW, I haven't heard a single whisper of them potentially signing her.
No, this is it. It just destroyed her career and her reputation. And she's been wrestling for CMLL, and like, it's a huge wrestling company, getting like a 10,000 people crowd every Friday night in Arena Mexico. But in America, certainly it tanked her career. So like, you know what the frustrating thing about this is, that TNA has had a good run recently, right? Crowds are up, attention's up. Joe Hendry obviously going viral has been a big help, but they've got lots of talented people on that roster.
Partnership with WWE, even though it's slightly lopsided.
Yeah, but it's still been like, it's resulted in some fun stuff.
Yeah.
TNA's had a really good little run, and someone like this is just put their foot in it, really.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't have brought her back, but hey.
Like you say, and disregarding, not that we should, but disregarding the sort of public perception of it all, interesting in the locker room, isn't it? And speaking of that, you mentioned Jordynne Grace there, allegedly not very happy at having to work with Tessa Blanchard. I would argue again for TNA, thinking, well, we've got Tessa Blanchard and Jordynne Grace. They're two of our best female wrestlers. Whilst they're both here, let's make the most of it. But yeah, we'll see how that one plays out. But Dave on Wrestling Observer Radio talking about Jordynne Grace, confirmed that the plan is for Tessa Blanchard to do a brief program with Jordynne Grace, and then Grace will head to WWE when her current contract expires. No real surprise there. I think we knew that was going to be the case. The moment Jordynne Grace appeared in the Rumble in January. Long term, the speculation has always been, especially because she popped up again a few months back in NXT with this partnership, that Jordynne Grace is going to be going to WWE. I mean, I wouldn't even mess about with her in NXT, would you?
No, why bother? Why bother? Just, she's good. She's really good.
You mentioned it. She had the test in the Rumble, and she passed with more than flying colours. She embarrassed quite a few other people in that match.
She outclassed everybody. That's a really mean way of saying that Jordynne Grace is great, but she's unbelievably good. She is, to me, the great wrestler I do not hear enough people calling a great wrestler, which is weird, because her catalogue speaks for itself. The Masha Slamovich stuff this year in particular has been really, really great. I think Jordynne Grace, put her on the roster, she's immediately top 5. She's awesome. I would not mess around in NXT. Yeah, look, there's some really talented people. Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Jada Parker, Lola Weiss, Kalani Jordan.
Zaria's hench as well, isn't she?
Yeah, Zaria. There's lots of really talented. Roxanne Perez. We haven't even mentioned the queen of the division.
She'll be on the main roster next year. She better be.
But I think she's too good to put in NXT. I would just put her on Raw or SmackDown straight away. And honestly, I would have her eliminate 10 people in the Rumble.
We're not going to, but I could sit here and list off 10, 15, 20 matches for Jordynne Grace straight out of the. I mean, Rhea Ripley, obviously.
Power.
Bianca Belair,
Power.
obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Charlotte Flair.
Chaz Flair. That'd be awesome.
Come on.
That'd be awesome. Charlotte works really well in matches with people who can physically meet her, like Rhea Ripley, for example. Her and Jordan would probably be awesome. Be really good. But Jordynne Grace rocks. So all the best. She's really successful inside and outside of wrestling anyway.
Yeah.
But all the best to her continued success, prosperity. She's really good. So yeah, shouts to her. Speaking of people
who bring the boom.
What? It's the Rizzler. No, he wasn't involved in this. Big Boom AJ.
Not yet.
Well, maybe. Big Boom AJ might have his next AEW opponent. And that opponent might be MJF.
Oh my God, this is going to be incredible.
Yeah, so they had a little confrontation at Boca Raton Championship Wrestling down there in Florida, I presume, at the weekend.
So, yeah.
There was the clip doing the rounds. I believe it's QT Marshall versus MJF. AJ's in the ring. QT's been a ball bag getting in his face. AJ knocks him down. Boom. MJF gets up, gets into his face. They say some words. AJ eventually leaves the ring and MJF goes back to work. But could that be the next match? Obviously, AJ's injured at the moment. He's got that broken foot. But sign me up, brother.
Yes. I'm scared for what MJF could say on the microphone.
About the Rizzler.
About Big Justice, about the Rizzler, about Costco. you know, all that sort of thing.
You better not disrespect my Costco.
But yeah, obviously, yeah, book it. I want to see this. It's weird. It's wonderful. And I prefer it more than crimes being committed on AEW television. Basically,
I'm gonna piss some people off.
Oh, here we go.
Do it.
This is what I'm here for.
As of today,
put him over MJF.
What date is it? No, well, what day is it? The 16th. Monday, the 16th of December, 2024. I, Andy Murray, would much rather watch MJF versus Big Boom AJ than MJF versus Adam Cole in a couple of weeks.
That's a shout.
Yeah, the QT Marshall match absolutely rocked.
It was perfect, wasn't it?
It was the most pure expression of pro wrestling I've seen all year in a major promotion. It was goodie versus baddie, clearly defined roles. Two guys who just went all in on the bit and their role. Very simple stuff, but it meant that when AJ did a superplex, it felt like a triple rotation 450 splash.
With a broken foot.
Yeah, yes.
He broke it before the match, not during.
So it was a perfect match. It was the 3-star match of the year, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I'd give it 3 3/4 or something like that, but it was awesome. If MJF is willing to be a complete stooge asshole, just eating heel for this, I think this could be even better.
Yeah, I think this could be absolutely sensational. I mean, it probably is nothing. They probably have, hopefully, bigger plans for, I was going to say MJF, Big Boom AJ, in 2025.
Put him in the Continental Classic next year, brother.
With regards to the MJF Adam Cole thing, I'll just say this. Let's leave it in 2024. Look, it's like my last week at WhatCulture for this year. I want to do this and then go, right, fresh start for 2025.
Some world's end, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm not watching that. I have to. It's fine. The wrestling business will have moved on. We'll be looking forward to Raw and Netflix when we come back. It's fine.
Yeah. I will say, I've gone from being a complete Costco guy skeptic. Like, I had seen the content a little bit, like the dances and the cookie and all that stuff, and I was like, okay, this isn't for me, but like, it just seems like a nice thing a dad is doing with his kid, and like the Rizzler and all this stuff, and like it's just like, I can't hate the hustle at all. But then I saw how seriously he took the wrestling side of things, and I was like, these guys rock.
Yeah.
These guys rock.
And when they threw that piece of cheese at the wrestler's head, that was funny.
Yeah.
And I'll say I was a massive Costco skeptic. I was like, how good can it really be? Incredible. Please make me a brand ambassador and give me a card, Costco.
I mean, it's 50 quid for a card, something like that.
I made it, money.
But to be fair, the hot dog's £1.50.
So. Pizza.
Yeah, $1.99.
A double chocolate cookie.
We don't get that in the UK. Well, the box of cookies, which
I bought with full intentions to bring into the office, and then effectively brought about 4 cookies in because I was left alone with it.
Last day on Friday, might bring in some treats.
Oh, don't do this
treats
to me.
We'll
come and watch WhatCulture while I'll vomit live. Right, Andy, sticking with AEW, what is going on with Toni Storm? She announced the other day she's all elite. Of course she is. Been there for ages. No, as you mentioned in the intro, she's got an amnesia gimmick, which is very entertaining, I'll admit. Like the whole, I'm all elite. Huh? And then I saw a clip of her introducing herself to Mark Briscoe, which I think was the perfect person to have that happen to. She did the same with like Thunder Rosa, as Thunder was like, oh, I'll kick your ass, Mariah May, and then I'll fight Toni Storm if I have to. And Tony's like, lovely to meet you. I'm Toni Storm, by the way. Well, long term, according to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Was Over the Radio, the long term plan is for Toni Storm to go back to being Timeless Toni, which makes sense because she's been one of the best wrestling characters of 2024, hasn't she?
Yeah, she sounds like she's going to like fast forward through her whole career, like doing an amnesia a bit. Does that mean we'll get her and Saraya calling the audience twats again?
I didn't think of that.
Listen up, you neck-beard stinky twats. Jesus Christ. She got fined for that.
She did.
That was the moment I realised that well, I've just said it twice, but that T word is really bad in America.
Yeah. So, we chuck around like we chuck, but really, I'm not going to say any other words that we say, but we chuck other words around like nobody's business.
I mean, we're seeing each other next Tuesday all the time. That's it. If you go to my country, Scotland, and someone goes, all right, you see, that's a compliment. Yeah. It's like, that means they like you. Yeah. What's going on?
I'd be welcomed with open arms.
Yeah, what's going on over here? But it's fun, isn't it? And like, she keeps doing really interesting and creative things with her character.
She's great, Toni Storm. Like, well, I think when she went to AEW, people thought, she was really badly used when she went to the main roster in WWE.
Custard pie.
Yeah, rubbish. But she always had potential to have great matches. But they got a lot of people on that roster who've had potential to have great matches, and it's been a bit like, she's been brilliant.
Yeah, she's a star. She's a star. And she's extremely funny as well. Like a really funny person.
She's going to watch some footage back and like, why am I in black and white there?
Yeah, what's going on? Who's this? Who's this? She's going to see footage of her claiming who was it? Box she was going to beat in? I'll beat your bloody box in.
I forget.
Was it Deonna Purrazzo?
Probably.
Might have been, yeah. Rude behaviour, Toni Storm.
But yeah, big things for her in 2025, understandably.
Yeah, absolutely. She's good.
Yeah, best of luck to her.
That's my hot take. Toni Storm is good.
Yeah, that's what we both agree on that, and we're sticking to it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, all right. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to go on record. You know what you should go on the record and do? Buy some merch, baby.
Oh,
look at that. Right there. Purple, gold, white, black. We got all the colours. We got 3 colours. It's good. That was 4. But never mind.
Yeah.
WhatCulture.com/shop. We ship globally. If you're in the US, we've got US fulfillment. It's not going to take 5 weeks. Don't worry. It's a good time.
Yeah. And if you're worried about Cody Rhodes, check out this morning's news video.
Oh, what's he done to his spine?
Oh, my bloody neck.
Last of the summer spine. It's December. Bye.
Bye.